So, the first beer you ever drank?
Oh, first beer I ever drank, would probably have been like a Kokanee, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I was 17 at the time.
In your dad's fridge?
No, it was actually, no, it's interesting. The first beer I ever drank was probably I was part of a drama in high school, and it was like a drama after party, and someone gave me a beer. And I think it was the first time I actually like downed a beer. And because I used to have super bad reflux, and I'd get heartburn every time I drink. So I never used to drink until like this one party, and I had like a Kokanee, and I think I had a Smirnoff Ice, and I was like bombed, and I was that's it. So it was crazy.
And it's amazing you've gone on to actually drink beer again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, totally, absolutely.
The first beer you ever made?
First beer I ever made would have been at that U Brewery, and it would have been from a kit, essentially. And probably like a high quality kit, an extract where you added maybe 5 liters of water to it, and you might have added some extra hops and that kind of stuff, and you sprinkle your brewer's yeast, that kind of thing too. But I think even before that, my buddy was making beer in his parents' basement, and it was the Cooper's kits that you would get at Save on Foods, and you'd open it up with a can opener, you'd pour out your malt extract, and 1 liter would turn into 23 magically, and we would drink that happily, and 5 cents a beer.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first I've ever made. Yeah.
Strangest beer you've ever made?
Strangest beer I've ever made? That was probably that one that we're gonna try later today. That's 12.5% Russian Imperial Stout, aged on oak staves that my dad charred up on his barbecue. We added 2 pounds of dried cranberries, blueberries, and cherries. We added an ounce of cocoa nibs, an ounce of Himalayan sea salt, and we added a Mickey of rye whiskey to it. So yeah, that's probably like
forward to that.
Yeah, that one was actually probably the weirdest one I've made. Yeah, with good results. So
you said that your dad makes wine.
Wine, yeah.
What beer does he drink?
My dad, he loves craft beer as well.
Okay.
He is like a lighter kind of like pale ale type of drinker. My dad used to make beer way back in the day, and I think when he was my age, when he was going through UBC, he was part of the homebrew club as well, and I think he actually won a gold for his homebrew submission, which would have been like a barley wine that he added like pure ethanol to, like this, and this is back in like the 70s essentially, where homebrew supplies were very hard to come by.
Yeah.
And so I think he had a connection with someone in chemistry and managed to up the alcohol content of his beer, and still managed to take home a gold or something around those lines anyway. So I don't know.
A day without beer
Is boring.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
The beer you're most proud of making?
Oh, beer I'm most proud of making. Okay, so this is so after completing my first Ironman, I wanted to make a beer to commemorate it. So I'm calling it my Ryan Pale Ale, essentially.
Ryan?
Ryan, yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Ryan
nice,
Man.
yeah,
So, and that took a lot of research to figure out what style of hops we really wanted. So there's 3 events in a triathlon: swim, bike, run. I needed 3 hops. I needed 3 malts to kind of make this kind of work. And so we called it like the trifecta of hops. My buddy Dan, who's like my business partner, training partner, we lined up like all these single hop beers, and we really tasted and we blended and we tried to figure out what 3 we liked the most, and we came up with our favorites, which happened to be Cascade, Centennial, and Simcoe. And with that, we made like a red. We tried to make it the same color as the Ironman logo, which is a nice dark, deep red. And yeah, we added a little bit of rye in it because of the name Ironman.
Cool.
And to spice it up a bit.
When was that made?
That would have been made 3 years ago. So yeah, and I made it a couple times since then.
Cool.
So yeah.
So.
So my name is Ryan Hill, and that's 60 Second BB Snappers.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay,
All right.
cool.